to do this. I'm trying to show, well, I'm not trying, I'm showing that we are bringing a network of action group funders and entrepreneurs that are economically minded and spiritually minded, so that we can upgrade our societies through successful solutions. And we have a vetted process that we're using that shows accountability and transparency. And the vetted process we use has to do with, along with MELD and PASOS, which is 2 ways of vetting the solutions to make sure that we have the best chance of success, so that we can make sure we wrap our hands around each of these solutions that have the best chance of success, and then elevating them to the next level. So that's what we're doing. Does anybody have any questions about that? No, okay. So everybody on the screen, really quick, I would like you just to take a couple minutes, just only 2 words, actually, all you're gonna say, or maybe 3. I'm Rosalie. I'm Regener8tive. That's where I come from, Regener8tive. And tell me something that you're good at that you like to do. And I love to solve problems. Does anybody else want to go?
Oh, I'll always help you out, Rosalie.
So Tina, say your name, say where you come from, and just what do you like to do quickly in 3 words or less.
My name is Tina Greenbaum, and I live in California. My company is Master Under Pressure, and I love to help people emotionally.
Okay.
Nice.
Say, Tony, you talked up. You're next.
Well, I just like how Tina introduced herself. That was cool. My name is Tony Drexel Smith, and I like to make sure that things are fair to all concerned. I'm the Managing Director of Underwriting Due Diligence and Advisory Services for a mid-cap investment bank called US Capital Global, and advisor to Miss Bingham. Even at 1 in the morning when she texts me sometimes.
I don't just text you at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's sometimes I know that's when you're doing the work that we're getting done. And I happen to be up doing work too. So
yeah,
I
that's
figured
supposed to be secret. It's
yeah.
a secret. It's a secret
well,
that I
people
work.
are going to think something strange.
I think it's so funny. If my text messages start going at 9, 10, 11, 12, or even 1 in the morning, I know it's Rosalie.
It's because I'm up working and I know he is too. Okay, but I don't text many of you at 1 o'clock in the morning, I hope. Okay, anybody else wants to go?
I'll go.
Okay, Alberto, and then
yes. Alberto Vasquez, Optima Conservation Resources, Minerals, Texas, is an energy company. And I love to take on challenges which are bigger than myself and find solutions that provide value to all the constituents.
Wow, that's more than 3 words, but you're a collaborator. You're gonna have to get that smaller, Alberto. So, okay, Joelle, right? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Yeah, you might have to just. Yeah. Can't hear you. Nope. You're gonna have to get off your headset some way. Does anybody else want to go while she's working her head? Just anybody else want to go? Go ahead, Wayne.
Sure, my name's Wayne. I just met this group literally an hour ago. I live in San Francisco and I love Korean dramas. You guys can all talk about work. I'm going to be honest with you.
But what do you love doing? You love Korean dramas? You love doing Korean dramas?
I like being of service, and I do that in a multitude of ways.
Perfect. David, I saw you raise your hand.
Thank you. My name is David Newkirk. I'm just west of Boston, Massachusetts. I'm here. Tina, it was nice to invite me, so thank you for letting me be here. My company is Ethos Consulting, a strategy consulting firm, and I love helping people understand themselves better through new perspectives and understand the blind spots that can get uncovered that can help them move forward.
Okay, so you like helping people to know themselves better. Okay, thank you. Chris, or Wendell, go ahead, Wendell.
All right, Wendell Minnick, I'm from Stamford, Connecticut. I love Korean dramas too. I am married to a Korean concert pianist, and she basically keeps me alive with music. I am an entrepreneur, and I basically focus on technologies in the energy sector, as well as the current COVID crisis.
So in three, do you have a succinct 3 things that you do? Like, I love to solve problems. Tina loves to help people. What do you like?
I like to be disruptive with our technologies to make the world a better place.
Okay, disruptive technologies. Okay, good. Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Coleman. I like finding inefficiencies and then solutions for them.
Okay, thank you. And Mitzi.
All right, my specialty, I'm Mitzi Perdue, I live in Maryland, and I'm founder of Win This Fight, an anti-trafficking organization. And I love to do everything I possibly can in the years that remain to me to help people become less vulnerable to traffickers. And you're going to hear more from me later.
Great. Let's see, Tina, we did that. Rodney.
Yes, Rodney Rome, Meridian, Idaho. I'm the founder of Rod Rome Enterprises because I couldn't figure out a way to tell people what I do without telling them about all the things I'm involved in. I love to do business. I love people. And we see our business as a missions organization to share the gospel of Christ around the world.
So you, in a nutshell, is what?
Okay, so missions, business as a missions, BAAM.
Business as a missions. Okay, yep. Business as a missions. Okay, Peter, Dr. Peter, you're muted though. So before you're unmute, so Joelle, can you go? Can I hear you yet? I still can't hear you, sis. You may have to call in. I don't know. It must be your headset or your I don't know. I can't. You're just gonna have to listen. I can't hear you. Okay, Dr. Peter.
Hi, everyone. My name is Peter Owojoki. I'm calling in today from Frankfurt in Germany. I'm really glad to be here. I was invited by Rosalie. We actually met on Clubhouse, and she breezed into a session. And she said a lot of very interesting things, and I found them very believable, very exciting, and connected, wanted to be a part of that. I am an entrepreneur and currently building a medtech compassionate AI company. We're creating compassionate artificial intelligence to solve problems relating to the mind, neurological conditions, and especially focused on pediatric neurological conditions. How can we improve the diagnostics as well as help people to get to the early interventions that makes a difference between if a child today, in 20 years' time or in 30 years' time, if they will be still dependent on their families, or if they will be able to, grow up to have a life, learn a skill, fall in love, have a family, and be able to contribute to society. So it's a long-term vision impact, and this is actually what I'm about as well. Seek for impact and really commit myself to make it happen.
Okay, so Peter, you would get to say that all in 3 or 4 words. What is it? What do you like to do?
I want to have impact that makes a difference in people's lives.
Compassionate AI impact. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to show you that we can dissect it down. Okay, Carl.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Carl Norloff from the North Shore of Boston. I'm the founder of Local Mana. And what I love to do is to help businesses, nonprofits, and people connect around things people are passionate about. How's that?
That's perfect. Help people connect on what they're passionate about. Joelle, can I hear you now?
I hope so. Do you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Yay.
Finally. Thank you. I apologize. Sometimes technology. So I'm Joëlle Drumblatt. I'm a co-founder that automates the verifications of camera views. So when you have security cameras, to make sure that all views are.
We need to speak up
what
just
they
a
need.
little bit. We can't hear you very well. So just speak up a little bit more.
So okay, I'm a co-founder at Argus. Argus is artificial intelligence software to automate the verification of security cameras to make sure that you have a clear image. And personally, I like to help people first, of course, for the business, for their surveillance systems, but overall networking, helping people wherever they to connect with each other. Yeah, I'd love doing that. And thank you, Rosalie, for including me network. I apologize that. Thank you for fighting.
So quickly, because I'm having a hard time hearing you, what is the just three words? What is it? Say it, just 3 or 4 concise words. What is it that you like to do?
Networking, helping people to be connected with other people, whatever they need, and
Okay,
taking care of your surveillance system.
their surveillance system. Okay. And is there anybody else, Chloe or Catherine on the bottom there, is there anybody else you want to say what you do and what your name is, where you're from and what you like to do in a very concise way?
Yes, this is Katie Duncan. I'm at the Harrison House in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I love having conversations around how to solve racial unrest.
Okay, thank you. And okay, so we're going to go ahead and move forward with just the next step here. So let's see, Lauren's going to get on in a minute, but we'll come back to her just to see. In case, Lauren, are you there? Or did you want to say something? I know she just.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay. We just are telling our name, what we like to do, our name, and just within four words, we want to know, what do you like to do?
Okay, hey everybody, I'm Lauren. I'm sorry I'm not on video. I'm taking care of a sick pup, which is something I like to do is protect our innocents, and that is what I am up to, is co-launching a ministry to help transform aftercare services for child trafficking victims, survivors.
Yes. Yep, that's why Mitzi, do you see Mitzi just about jump out of her eyeballs there?
Hi, Mitzi. I've listened to your podcast before. How are you?
Hey, I'm thrilled. I mean, yes, I am jumping out of my chair. How neat.
Yeah. Awesome to connect.
So the reason why I have called why we're all here together today and always is that we have a network of what you can see, entrepreneurs and funders, and we're have additional funding coming in for solutions that repair damage, but they have to be both economical and spiritual. They have to be able to sustain themselves within 5 years, so they have to make economic sense. And we're using Tony Drexel, and I saw Paul on here earlier, but I don't see him now, but we have 2 processes that we're using to vet the best project and then make sure that we're all accountable for those projects and what we say we're going to do, so that when we have a B corporation at the end, we can actually share that prosperity with that purpose-driven B corporation with the collaborators. So we are here to basically come up with the best solutions that we will get behind. And so what I'm asking now at this point is to take 5 minutes of your time, and it's got to be concise. I've got to keep it under 5 minutes. So and if people want to ask you questions, you're not going to get to answer questions if you use your whole time telling what your solution is. But what I want is I want you to be able to say what your solution is, what you're asking for, and the detail that you want, and then what is the benefit back to the back to the group. And that's what, and so let me give you an example. So we're going to start my timer really quick here because I'll be on the clock as well to show you. Is there any questions so far about what I said though? No? Okay, stopwatch. Okay, so 0 seconds. Here we go. So I am Rosalie with Regener8tive, and what we're doing is creating a collaborative network to share prosperity using a unique process to vet projects and hold the team accountable so that when we have our B Corporation, which is a purpose-driven corporation, issue sweat equity, we know who did a lot of the lion's share of the work, and we can share it appropriately through documenting it and tracking it. I am looking for people that want to belong to this tribe. I call it the Thrive Tribe. And I have a network, also a platform that we can all jump on. It's a forum. And I have a meeting every Thursday at this time at 11:30 to 12:30 to show the next steps of how we're collaborating and what help we need we bring to this group. I also am on a couple of other apps doing the same thing. And one of the projects, the first project that I am jumping on and supporting is emotional resilience and start and grow your own business for mentoring one-on-one with veterans and youth that are underprivileged or disadvantaged. And we are showing that by collaboration, we can connect them to helping them with their problems so that they can help themselves in the future. And in exchange for that, they agree that they're going to help grow food locally for the people that are helping them. So it's a hand up. We call it an accountable hand up. I have the greenhouses, I have the groups, and I just need to have a team to help me mentor and execute the business model, which it's very easily done. I've done most of the heavy lifting. So I have 3 minutes left. Is there any questions about that? Was it clear?
It was clear. So tell us how you're going to fund your project.
Well, I can fund it myself, which is what I can do is fund it myself. Or if you want, you can fund it with either sweat equity or you can put funding into it. The first pod that we need is going to be less than $10,000. So the project costs less than $15,000. That's why I can fund it myself. And if anybody would like to put sweat equity in or help with funding, I'm issuing shares based off of that. And this will be a business model that will move forward and the profits will be shared pro rata.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I have 2 more minutes. Okay, David, but you got to unmute your mic.
Thank you, Rosalie. Question is just very quickly twofold. How would you define success, attainment, and then what's the timeline that you're putting out to measure when you'll achieve success?
Okay, so the first program is emotional resilience. So that would be 12 weeks. It's a 10-week program plus 2 weeks to kind of reset. And then another 12-week program after that would be start and grow your business. So that's another 12-week program. So we're in really a group for almost 6 months. So it's been 6 months, we will have a deliverable, which will be a 1-page executive summary and pitch deck of whatever these people would like to do to start and grow their business. So that shows that we are successful in helping people that are disadvantaged to get to a place where they can move forward in business with arms around them and a network around them to help them be successful. That's what I gauge as success, is someone that's happier after we're around them than when they got there. That's how I gauge it. Any other questions? I have 40 seconds. Alberto, or wait, Wayne, you've got your hand raised. Wayne.
I do. I'm trying to use the formal process here so that we can see how it goes. I love doing the hand raising. Basically, since you're talking about the target of VA and at-risk youth, is there a mechanism to supplement or derive income from the VA administration or from other youth groups that could help you actually get this project cash flow positive?
Yes, easy peasy. It's if I could get help to do that, if someone would like to help me, I'm just one person and I'm a little busy. So if someone wants to help me with that, I would welcome that. Okay, that's 5 minutes. So Alberto, I can't take your question because I only have 5 minutes. That's why you have to be really concise. So, all right. So I'm going to ask Mitzi to go next. So Mitzi, hold on. Let me reset. Are you ready?
I'm setting my.
So wait, one
okay,
other thing.
that?
So at the end of that, so then you also at the end of that, you have 1 minute, you have one more minute just to say what you need. It has to be within 1 minute. So I just would like you all to go onto my website at Rosalie Bingham or Regener8tive. They're both there, Regener8tive or Accountable Hand Ups. It's Accountable Hand Ups, and put your name in there. Donate $25 so that I know you have some skin in the game. It's only $25. And that is not to go towards me. It's just to hold your place so that the next time when it's time for you to have your hand up, we can say you had a vested interest. Because what I don't want, and if you can't afford $25, contact me and I'll see what I can do to find someone to sponsor you, or I will sponsor you. So I don't want anyone to go that won't be able to afford that. So I want everybody to have the opportunity. And I need help with people to help me. They send thank you notes or thank you cards. And Tony's been trying to help me do that with, because I need to thank people for joining up with us. So that's what I need. Okay. Do those two things else to start with. All right, Mitzi, you're next.
Perfect. All right, I'm Mitzi Purdue, and my mission in life, I'm 79 years old. I want to spend the rest of my life helping other anti-trafficking organizations raise money and raise awareness. But to me, this counts as an anti-trafficking organization because anything that makes youth less vulnerable to the traffickers is preventive. But the way I do it, it's somewhat unique. We have a giant auction planned, possibly for next year, and it might be the year after, in which ultra high value items get sold, and it will be at Sotheby's. And this is somewhat confidential information, but Sotheby's, because they hate trafficking, are willing to forego their 20% commission. And some of the gifts that have come in, I'm going to be very brief about this, but did I share screen?
Yeah, there you go. You're sharing screen.
Okay, and I'm not sure which one is sharing right now. Are we looking at a ruby or a dinner plate?
Zoom. We're looking at Zoom. It's let's see.
We're not.
No, we're looking at a Zoom.
Oh my. It says I'm screen sharing. I'm going to stop sharing and start over again because I think you'll be interested in what I'm about to show. Are we looking at a ruby right now?
Yeah, ruby. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The goal is to raise $100 million. And you're looking right now at a 69 carat ruby. It might be worth $40 or $50 million. Sotheby's is going to auction it, and it's going to, the donor gets to say where it goes. Now, at this point, you are highly invited to wonder, what on earth does that have to do with this? Well, Sotheby's has also agreed that in addition to the giant $100 million auction, that if anybody has an item worth, say, $100,000, that they would auction it kind of as a trial. And if anybody is up for a tax deduction while also supporting efforts in this case, Rosalie's, if anybody has a highly valuable item, and it doesn't have to be jewelry, it could be something that's historic, it could be a patent, anything that could be turned into cash. And then the way it works is Sotheby's then writes a check for the exact amount of the sale price, and it goes to Rosalie. And I got interested in this because I heard from Rosalie what she's doing, which I admire no end. And it occurred to me that that if she, like, for example, could afford a secretary or an assistant, you could go, what you're doing could go so much farther. So if anybody has an item that they would like to auction and get a tax deduction, speak to me. And I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I'll put my contact information in the chat room. And I figure we've got a minute and a half for questions.
Yep. And it does, let me clarify, it doesn't go to me. I'll give you an extra minute. It goes to Regener8tive. So it
Well,
goes,
yes, it has to go to a tax deductible organization.
So I'll give you another couple minutes.
Mitzi,
Anybody?
if you get the opportunity to reach out to me, you can get my information from Rosalie. We wrote a business plan for a government contractor called Black Swan, and we're very familiar with that company. They do undercover work for the U.S. government, and one of their primary functions is the recovery of victims of sex trafficking. And they actually work for the FBI and a number of different agencies. And so when children go missing through those scenarios, these guys have almost 300 employees that work for them.
Wow, they're huge.
And all their employees are ex-government agents. And they are an undercover group that goes in and swoops down and gets kids back. I
love it. Where are they located?
They are out of Detroit.
Okay, 30 more seconds.
I'll get you introduced to them.
Okay, please do. I'll put my contact information in the chat room.
30 more seconds. So anyone else?
Super. Well, I want to thank you. And I also want to thank Tina for putting us together. Thank you, Tina Greenbaum.
Thanks, Tina. Yes, thank you.
My pleasure.
So 1 minute left. So 1 more minute now, Mitzi. So how is what is it that you need from us? And how are you benefiting the group here?
Well, I'd absolutely love it. How you could benefit me is go to my website, and the easiest way to get there is to text WTF to 51555. And that will lead you to a link. I hope it's operational right now. Otherwise, go to—
Put it in the link, put it in the chat. So put it in.
Yeah, I'll do it. And then my website, the reason I want you to go there is I'd love for you to sign up to my blog, because the more people who follow the blog, the more clout I have when I address some of the big donors.
Okay. And so the money will be coming back to Regener8tive to fund other solutions that we have that are economically viable, spiritually grounded, and repair damage, and using groups like ours. And Lauren, you weren't here earlier, but she has a group that will be scrubbing basically to make sure all of our strategic partners are aligned with our goal of that we don't do business with riffraff.
Great, and I'm not riffraff.
I know. So we don't do business with riffraff. Okay, so next person. Anybody else have a question? Or that's it, we go on to the next one. Who's next? Okay, Rodney, unmute your phone.
I think that'll help if you can hear me.
Yep.
So Rodney Rome, and one of our corporations is 208 Wireless Business Integration. We have a project this year to establish worldwide communications capabilities independent of any kind of device that you have. We can communicate all the way from ham radio to satellite communications and anything in between. So when you begin to establish a new or an existing or a growing community, they always need communications facilities. We're 100% mobile. I can communicate to anyone around the world from anywhere in the world. We've communicated with our business partners nationally and internationally from the north side of Pikes Peak in Woodland Park, Colorado, just because we could. We've developed software and hardware to be able to allow one or more people from anywhere in the world to communicate with one or more people. The first thing as chaplains we like to be able to do is we pull up in our facility here. It's mounted in a GMC Yukon. And when I ask the question, are you okay? Then I want to be able to address that personal need that they may have in any type of situation, particular disaster or in field and rescue or search and rescue, anything that's there. And then I ask the question, is your family okay? And do they know that you're okay? And making that contact is our number one objective, is to make sure that people can be at rest during the time of crisis or circumstance. So our project this year is to present that solution that can be deployed virtually in any community, any public sector, any private sector environment, in any state, county, community across the United States. And it's built on a platform of affiliate licensing for our software and our services, so that we leave the majority of the revenue coming into a local facility. They can then help us fund the work that we do, help fund organizations like Regener8tive, help give back to the community. Our purpose of acquiring wealth is for the purpose of distribution, not accumulation. That's what we do. That's our spearhead this year. Our project's called Wings Up.
What's the amount of money that you need to get your, well, first of all, has Tony vetted your project, and have you gotten a TESA score?
Is not, and I have in the chat here asking for a phone conversation with Tony today. Our ask is people that want to do this for the next 20 years and to transition over into our company as owners and drivers. Our ask is 1, 3, and 5 million for managing the operations, doing sales and marketing, developing the distribution channels, and the production of those systems that can literally be shipped anywhere around the world.
So you have a benchmarks, and for each, so you would say 1 million would be a tranche of money that comes in first, but there's a benchmark, and that we wouldn't put in any additional money until you hit that benchmark.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 1, 3, and 5 depends on how much equity a person would want to own in our existing corporation, so that it becomes a life job for them to continue on the work that we're doing, as opposed to just making an investment.
Okay, what's the downside to this? What would be the downside to an investment of time or effort or money into this? What would be that?
Well, I haven't thought of any yet, because I don't think that way. Now, it will be secured by stock interest and equity in the corporation. So in every aspect of the work that we do, we also offer equity in every one of our organizations. And so it's a stock purchase with specific goals, with measurable goals that can be funded much like your project is planned out to do. So I've not vetted it with Tony yet, but Tony, when you get an opportunity, I'd appreciate a call.
Anybody else have questions for him? Because that's the time. Anyone? Alberto, quickly, because I asked a couple of questions.
Rodney, what happens in areas where you don't have coverage by cell phones or satellites? Are you still able to communicate?
We can do land connections to wireless for a LAN, WAN, or network if there's facilities around. Cellular, if it's out, we go to satellite, and there's 3 levels of orbiting satellites that we can reach that can always be reached in communications, depending on the antennas and the connection routed points that we go to.
Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So Rodney, 1 more minute. What is it that, so you already said your ask was $1 million, 3 million, 5 million, and you already said the benefit is going to be back to the group here would be shares in the company, and the benefit to the or the people is that they'll be able to make sure their loved ones are okay in an emergency where there is no cell phone or landlines. You can actually go to satellite and call people, and if they joined your network, they would always know they'd be able to get a hold of their loved ones as long as they had joined your network in another location, right?
That's correct.
And the size of this, and the size of these communicative things is about the size of fit inside of an SUV, so that they could be put in every, township, so that everybody who had signed up would make sure that they were able to connect to. So it's like having a satellite. Is it a monthly subscription?
Some of the features are.
Okay. Well, we'd have to get more detailed plans, Tony, and we'll vet that and check that out. Okay. All right. Anyone, who's next? Wayne. You got to unmute your phone. Unmute.
Thank you. I'm going to do a share screen while I'm talking. I'm working with an architectural firm called Designing Justice, Designing Spaces. We already have 3 test modules of these mobile refuge rooms built. We've also worked with Autodesk Foundation to standardize the design so that these can be manufactured quickly and easily in just about any furniture factory. According to Autodesk, we should be able to build 100 of these in a 6-week period. They're being used for basically temporary housing related to people with reentry, refugees, homeless, and they're not weatherized. So these are actually modules that are installed into pre-existing buildings, such as warehouses, gymnasiums, or office space. And the concept is to create a holistic experience for people who are in reentry. It's really trying to do restorative justice feng shui. This is design comes from a Oakland-based African-American woman-owned architectural firm that's been around about 15 years. Our current project is to get a good test deployment of these modules. We've already got 3 designs built. So that means getting 20 to 50 of them installed into, again, either a warehouse, a gymnasium, an office building. And finding the right partners on that front, dealing with the real estate, the service providers that will house or manage these units, as well as the local government entities that will have an interest in this and probably fund a significant portion of the costs of this program. So again, this is one facet of the overall reentry process. Again, refugees, homeless, or returning citizens, but it focuses on the core component, which is a module that people can live in that has a Murphy bed, a desk, privacy, and is designed in a way that will help them get out of their hyper state of anxiousness that most people are in, so that they can actually focus on recovery, whether that be drug treatment, education, job search, or finding a permanent dwelling. Again, these are meant to be temporary. Think of it like IKEA in a box. There are 4 boxes that come in to set up each one of these modules. They can be assembled quickly. They can be disassembled quickly. It's about a 2-hour process, and they can go in for emergency use. So I also think they could be used with COVID if we have overflow problems, or people that have to be isolated for 2 weeks, but not in a hospital. These could be set up again in gymnasiums or places like that. That's the basic format of it. We work with Autodesk to get the design down. We've got the architectural firm that's done it. We've got 3 modules built, but the goal now is to find a good test market to deploy these in and see how it works. And then the idea after that is to scale, because all of these concepts, for me, they have no interest if they can't scale and really be useful on a state or national or global level. And I'm ready for any questions.
Do you have a business plan and a financials on these at all?
Yeah. I do. I've only put in the module the three page PowerPoint to show what these look like, but we can get you all that. Okay. And by the way, I'm also started a new project working with the Haas Business School at Berkeley, where the next time we interact, I'll try to bring one of those members on. They will actually be facilitating this rollout that we're trying to do. So it's a work project we're doing with Berkeley's Haas Business School as well.
We meet every Thursday at the same time, same bat station right here. And then 10:30 at Clubhouse, 10:30 on Clubhouse, 11:30 here. Okay, anybody else have any questions for Wayne?
Yeah, Wayne, can these be shipped internationally?
Yes, they can. They'll be, once built, they'll be put in 4 flat pack boxes, kind of like IKEA furniture, and be able to ship easily. I've got the weight numbers. Unfortunately, I don't have the exact number on hand right now, but we've spec'd all that stuff out through our work with Autodesk Foundation.
Thank you.
So where is all the material sourced?
Right now, we're using a local manufacturer, and we are looking to be able to build these at scale and at cost. Again, we've only got 3 test modules built of 3 different designs. We're looking to find a good manufacturer that allow us to scale these along the lines of what Autodesk has formatted, which is to build about 100 of these in a 6-week period.
Is it all virgin materials or is it recycled?
Right now, the design is virgin, but obviously we'd work with the manufacturer to see what else they have that might be beneficial.
I talked to him about industrial hemp.
I know you talked about a low waste product, and I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah. So I told him, Wayne, I'll give you a few more seconds, but I told him about industrial hemp, that we should use the fiber from the industrial hemp and make these really lightweight, and so they could be put around. So there's a lot of that going to waste, right, Debbie? So yeah. Okay. So anybody else have a question for him real quick?
I had a quick one. Are they stackable? Are they fireproof? And how do they interlock with each other to make them stable? Or is that a possibility?
It is. They're set on a track or a basis, so you can actually bolt them down, and they'll be bolted. That track can be bolted to the floor. These units are each individual modules, so they can be connected together on the outside if you have a number of them, and so you can build them in a layout, like you could do the outside and have a central communal space, for example, things like that. They're made out of wood, so no, they're not fireproof, at least not the designs that we've done so far, but they are meeting all of the necessary standards. These are based in Oakland, so these are Alameda County standards that we've currently spec'd them to.
Okay, so that's it. Sorry. So what is your ask really quick? You have to do it like in just a few seconds.
The main ask is we're trying to find a good partner who would want to use these as a test market, putting 20 or 50 of these into a commercial real estate space or warehouse or gymnasium. And then we are going to coordinate bringing in partners at the local government and the services level to aid.
So you're looking for a partner. You're looking for a partner of people that have connections into municipalities, and right?
And like everybody else, we want to get cash flow positive as fast as possible.
Okay, perfect. Okay, just trying to keep everything straight. Anybody who's next? And I need you to unscreen your share there, or unshare your screen there, Wayne. Who else is next? Alberto, you ready to go? Okay, yeah. Alberto.
Yes, thank you. My name is Alberto Vasquez. I'm with OCR Minerals, Texas. Let me start by presenting an opportunity and a little bit of the background into time, treasure, and talent that are the 3 components that every one of us puts into a decision when it comes to investment. So some of us were not lucky enough to be born with treasure in the family, so we had to build it either by putting our time or our talent. Some of us went to school, developed some talent, and tried to exchange it for the treasure that we think is going to give us happiness. So regardless of what was the background that we have in each one of our stories, we accumulate some treasure over our lives. And then the point of decision comes when we have to look at the different risks involved in how to preserve it and how to make it grow, because you have to continue growing. And then the benefit that you have to provide to somebody else. So, well, OCR Minerals Texas is ready to present to investors, qualified investors, and a spectacular opportunity that will allow you to get residual income by just depositing the treasure or a part of the treasure that you have developed with so much effort over the years, and not having to put any more time or talent into it, and just be able to weather the volatile situation of our contemporary world economy. So the opportunity consists on investing on OCR Minerals Texas member units. We're offering 3,250 member units to investors to purchase producing acreage in the most profitable oil and gas property in the United States, the one that put the United States as #1 producer in the world. We have invested over almost 3 years up to now of effort, just dissecting all the legalities that will allow somebody to put safely their money into this opportunity and being able to take advantage of it. And the upside could be tremendous. Just to give you an idea, if you're buying at $2,000 an acre, you could probably sell it, turn it around and just flip it and sell it for about twice as much in nowadays market because of the growth. So we're in the path of where this is growing. So we want to capitalize on the time that we have invested developing this opportunity, and it's open to anybody who wants to have some residual income. The income which is going to come has some equity, which I have decided to provide half of that sweat equity to Regener8tive and half of that equity to another nonprofit, which specializes in taking care of the education of young people, young couples, young mothers, which will allow us to generate the best, a better version of humanity. So to try to avoid the problems that we have in violence, lack of clarity, lack of transparency in our societies. So with that, anybody who has any questions, I can try to answer.
Does anyone have a question? I do. Is there collateral? So have you already signed an agreement? So how much have you bought this acreage for per acre? What's the purchase
it's
price?
An average of $2,000 per acre that we.
And it's already in, you have first rights of refusal to get the rest of the acreage as well at the same price?
Correct. That's right.
And is there an evaluation from a third party that can evaluate that they're really worth $4,000 an acre?
Well, the evaluation comes from the market. It's like a real estate. You can own your house and you can see what the transactions happening around. Parsley Energy just was bought by Pioneer Resources, and the price they paid was close to $40,000 an acre. So
40,000?
Yeah, 40,000. 40,000.
And you're buying them for 2,000.
Yes, and you have ConocoPhillips who purchased what's the name of Concho Energy Resources, and about 5,000 an acre. So the range.
So do you have any guarantee that if you go to buy these at 2,000 and then you can't sell them for 4,000, that there, or even 3,000, is there a way that you're guaranteeing collateral so that we can get back our money or our time of our investment?
I'm working on that. I was told verbally by one of my acquaintances that they could provide some collateral because they have analyzed up and down the investment and they see it very safe, very secure for any type of investment. So
okay, so that's time.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that has any other questions? Okay, so what's your ask? Really quick, say it just concisely. What is the ask? What you're asking for?
3.25 million. It could be divided into 2 tranches, one of 2.115 million and the rest in 1.1 million when the acquisition of the third tranche happens. The first 2 have been acquired.
So you've already acquired the first 2. Okay. So you have 4 tranches. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Who's next? Katie, you want to go next?
Rosalie, there's so many things I just don't know where to start. So why don't I wait until next so I can formulate something under 5 minutes?
Okay. Tina, do you want to go with what you?
Thank you.
No, I'm not going to go yet, Rosalie.
Okay.
I'm just going to offer that to help with your 3-month thing.
Okay. Tony, you want to go with what you're looking for? What we're doing? Or you're my vetter. So is there anything else that you need?
Well, I just want to say publicly that I'm excited to see Debbie on here. I've known Debbie for a number of years, so to have her become full circle back into, she sent a little message. I know you don't get to see the chats during these calls, Rosalie, because it's hard for you to track them all. But Debbie's known me for years, and And I've known her, and what a fascinating woman she is. I've always been excited I love going on Facebook, watching all her life activities. She's a wonderful lady and entrepreneur. Having said that, yeah, so US Capital Global is in a strategic partnership with Rosalie and Regener8tive, in that our vetting process is being utilized as a tool for Rosalie to be able to have an objective scoring process to be able to determine the feasibility of projects and funding feasibility as well. We have a process we've been using now for 12 years, and it's proven to work well. And Rosalie has a special pricing program with us in an effort for us to support the mission of Regener8tive. So where most clients spend anywhere from $1,200 to as much as $25,000, Rosalie has a very, very low cost fixed price agreement with us to support her mission. So if you've got projects that need that vetting process in order for you to present at one of her events, you simply just shoot me an email and we'll get you registered on our website and get you started. We've already done that on a number of people that are on this call, actually. In fact, I know that we've already completed the work for at least 3 of you. So great to see you all. Debbie, nice to see your face. And have a great afternoon, folks.
Does anybody have any questions for him?
You know, Tony, for your pricing schedule, I had asked Rosalie, maybe it's something that you could put out to everybody, or unless it's kind of an individual thing based on what people want or something, just so that it's.
Yeah, so for Regener8tive, we have fixed the price at $1,250, regardless as to how much work may be involved in the vetting process. Essentially what happens is, typically when a client's referred to our investment bank, we have to look at what documents you have in order and what stage of development your company's in and how much capital you're seeking before we can really determine what it's going to cost for us to do our work. But with Regener8tive's program, we do what we call a situation analysis, which is an 8-page deliverable for a fixed price. And it gives Rosalie a very quick, within 3 to 5 business days, viewpoint as to the feasibility of the project and its funding capabilities.
And then they have matching from their matching funding from sources. And then we would also use, so Tony, can you explain the Reg A that we would use, a Reg CF, that they just upped that to $5 million now. So we can actually raise, $5 million through crowdsourcing using US Cap Global. And so it's another way of making sure that we together can raise more money together. And then we fund we fund projects through this source. So.
And it could be Reg A, it could be Reg CF, it could be whatever's best for the company. There are 50 ways to capitalize a company. So one of the things we want to do is be able to determine what's the most appropriate type of capital for the situation that your company is in.
Is there an ask? Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, that's time. Okay, so Tony, do you have an ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else?
Someone asked what time zone I'm in. I'm in Pacific time.
Paul, you want to go local? Carl?
Hey,
Nigel?
Rosalie, just real quickly, there's a number of different notes that have gone into the chat room. Let me just help you address those real quickly here.
Thanks. Yeah,
there's
thank
quite
you.
a bit going on.
Sorry.
First of all, you're more than welcome to email me, tsmith@USCap Global. It's the best way to communicate with me. I'm in Pacific time. If you are seeking capital or support for any kind of sponsorship from Regener8tive, then yes, you do need to send that to me. If you want to skip over all of that, you're more welcome to go to uscapaa.com, uscapaa.com. We set up a special website just for people to be able to register right online. So if you register right online, our whole system, we have 5 employees that immediately jump on that, start vetting and working. So you can go to uscapglobal.com, uscapaa.com, or email me. I answered the questions that I saw through the chats, Rosalie. I think we're good to go.
Thanks. Okay, thanks. Okay, just one more then. That's all I have time for because I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Is there anybody else? If not, Tina's going to run us through a little exercise.
Oh, I didn't know that we wanted to do that.
She's a miracle worker. I love Tina.
Well, I just finished actually doing a visualization on a course that I'm taking on flow. So why don't we do that for Rosalie and for all these wonderful projects? So if you just kind of sit back for a second and just kind of close your eyes if you want to, you don't have to if you don't want to. And just think of this wonderful big project that you have and imagine it a year from now. And just kind of see what has transpired over the year and especially how it feels. All the hard work that you've put in. Who's around you? Who's supporting you? How much money is in the bank? How many people are you helping? And then let's just go back about 6 months towards the present and see where you are 6 months from now and 6 months from your goal. Who's around you? Again, who's helping you? What are the challenges you're facing? And especially, how does it feel? What are the emotions? What are your thoughts? And if you bring yourself just back to today, what are the specific goals and activities that you need to do to get this off the road? And then when we meet a year from now, we're going to say, oh my God, I did it. Open your eyes.
Yay! Thank you. I opened my eyes and the exact same people I want there in a year are right here. So I was like, yeah, look how it's working out. Mwah.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
So
you.
on Monday, so here's the dealio on Monday. So Monday, the February 15th, we had a conference that or a webinar we're doing. The issue that I'm having is I haven't gotten everybody through taste sauce. Only 3 of you guys have gone through taste sauce, which isn't really the major factor, but the issue, and let me explain why, is that we're going to be the poster child of how we're doing things differently. We are setting a precedent of accountability and transparency like no other business is doing. And so we have to make sure that we have the best step and the best successful solutions all lined up. And we don't want to prematurely open up to complications and possibly failure if we can avoid it, right? Because it's right now, everything's recorded. We're showing how this is happening. This is going to be a documentary. And like I told you one time, sitting next to the group with Wesley Snipes, they said, you make sure that you actually start taping everything that's going on around you, because this is going into a movie. And I said, okay. And I think that we're on to something really big. This is no joke. We're putting together a group of people that are really moving the dial on integrity and accountability. And so I appreciate you all being here. And so on Monday, we are having a conference. It is going to be scheduled. We're going to be doing a little bit different than what we did today. Anybody who reaches out to Tony, who's done what they need to do, is going to get on a call with me this weekend. And we're going to practice what you're going to do on Monday. And we're going to have a pitch deck of investors that are watching. We don't know how many people are there, but it's going out to a very large network, and we're taping it, and it's going to go to a very large network, and we need to be concise in what we're saying and what we're doing so that we can pitch it to the investors, but you have to go through that vetting process. So there's going to be a few less people probably for this Monday, but we're going to do it again in March. It's going to happen again in March. So we'll do it again. And we're going to do it at the March 18th meeting that's on Thursday, which is this Thursday at 11:30 of a month from now, right? So it's going to be in March, but it'll be at the exact same time. So if you miss the February one, you'll get to pitch in March, but you just need to be prepared, and everything will be taped, and we'll show you the results of everything that we're doing as we use Meld and Taste Sauce to do so. So is there any questions about that? Any comments? Any suggestions? I still need help with clerical stuff, Lauren. I need to get with you, and I need some help with not clerical. I need to start thanking people for what they're doing, and I need to get these emails out to people so we can, I'm just not gonna, I just don't have the time to babysit, you know, and I need someone to kind of help me kind of funnel the herd here, because we're pretty big. So we need to kind of funnel the herd into a tribe. And I've got an idea where it's not an idea. It's actually, I already have a platform and we're moving forward. So it's not just an idea. It's a combination of accountability and transparency through glasses, Zoom calling, accountability through the app. You're vetted through the process of Taste Sauce. We've got funding that's being lined up. We're networking. We're starting in Las Vegas with a project I started. I'm willing to fund it. If you guys want to match my funds, then you can get profit sharing in my company. I mean, I'm willing to share, but yeah, there's going to be some culpability on all parts. So what is your platform, Rosalie? The platform is Regener8tive, and that's the platform is the name of our nonprofit, and my B corporation is accountable hand ups. The B for driven for profit is purpose driven is accountable hand ups. And is that what you meant, Carl? Or and what we're using is Zoom to start with, and we'll use Zoom to start. We're going to YouTube live streaming this to the network of people that are, and then Clubhouse as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Rosalie, I just want to say thank you so much, and thank everyone in the group. I'm happy to help you with those things. And Ambassadors of Light, our group, we're not currently seeking funding necessarily. Like, we are just here for this startup and partnering with everybody. We're developing a super high quality scrubbing kind of app eventually, but basically we want to help this group and beyond be able to achieve partnerships and profits economically free from human exploitation, any kind of sex and labor trafficking. So we're just here to kind of help educate and strengthen our partnerships and how we work together, and making sure that we keep dirty money out of our circulation. And eventually we'll be presenting our business plan as well when we're ready. But right now we're just here for it and helping build up.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I was just going to give a second to what you had said, Rosalie, about joining Clubhouse. If any of you get an invitation to join that, and it is invitation only, I also recommend that you accept that. That's how Rosalie and I found each other. It is a very valuable.
I've got a few for you all. If you want me to give you, I've got some, as long as you have an iPhone, I will send out your invites. Go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to let them know that, Wayne.
How can we find each other on Clubhouse? Because I just got on there too.
You go into at the very top of your app. There's a let me just show you really quick. Wayne, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to let them know that they could. Right here at the top of your app, on the app is a search button, Lauren, right here. And
Yep.
Then you just type in my name, Rosalie Bingham, or you type in Wayne Boatwright. You just type in the name, and then it'll pull up our name, and then you follow us. And when you follow us, you have to follow us. And then there's a little bell right there also when you go to follow us. Like if you were to go to Rosalie Bingham, you type it in here. And then when you follow each other, every time I'm in a room talking, so you touch on it might not do it because it's actually me, but if somebody touched it, there's a bell up here and it says follow, and then there's a bell, and then it comes up to say either always or sometimes, but you click always. And so anytime I walk into a room, it'll show me that I can actually call you into the room, and you'll know, so we can actually jump on. So when you know the type of things I'm listening to are always going to be edifying, I believe, to myself and to you, probably you. So if you're in a room, that might be a room I might want to jump into. And if not, then you're going to get to know more about me of what I like to do. So
Awesome.
Kind of open kimono.
I've got you both now.
Yeah.
Well,
Anything?
The only other thing I'd say is I do a lot of tech stuff, a lot of startup stuff in the Bay Area. This is going to be one of the biggest social media platforms out there within the next year.
But I'm telling, but Wayne, what I'm also saying to you is there's something actually better, that because I hear a lot of people complaining on Clubhouse, and what the platform we're putting together is bigger than this, and it's inclusive of Clubhouse, but it's also bigger where it's more action group oriented. Plus, it's actually it has that accountability component to it. So everything, like with Clubhouse, I find it to be a lot of talking, like everybody's talking, but nobody's really taking action. This app that we're putting together that has to do with Meld and the other people on the call and the AI people that we've been talking to, and the glasses. I'm a CEO of a company that has cameras in their glasses. We are moving forward with transparency so we can live stream what we're doing together, so you can see what we're doing, and we're interacting when we can't really see you face to face, but I can talk to somebody in China or Germany through, live streaming. They'll be able to, we can work and collaborate on a project right now in real time, but not talk about it, actually do it.
Do it. Yeah, I got you.
So it's just, that's the difference.
So I thought I mentioned, it's probably redundant at this point. I've heard Clubhouse and other applications, but Local Mono was built as a collaborative platform that enables people to connect around shared interests. I don't know if there's an interest in learning what it's all about, but it's great for groups like this where you can collaborate, share ideas, support, inspiration. If you get a chance, take a look and see if it's something that the group could use.
Yeah, I looked at it. I do like your platform a lot. It's a really pretty setup, and I want to see how, it would be effective here in the group. I've also looked at another couple of other platforms I'm not going to say right now, but that's why I wanted you to tell us that's why I gave you the time and invited you, so you could take 5 minutes and give us but you can do it the next time as well. So
that sounds good. Yeah, I started to talk and someone else jumped in, so I missed my 5 minutes, but next time.
But you can do it now. I mean, there's a few of us still, but I don't want you to feel like you can't, or you can practice. There's never ever a pitch that is that's failed or a waste of time if you learn something.
No, I mean, if everyone's open to hear, I don't mind.
So, or you can wait. It's kind of late, and I know other people have been, respectful of time. I just don't know if anyone has time to listen right now.
I do have to jump.
I can do it next time.
Yeah. Okay. Do it next time. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Keep in touch. And Chris, you'll be getting a message back from me. So that's because you and I need to talk about your pitch and stuff and what we're going to do. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks all. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. Bye. Do you want, let's stop this recording.